in the sports world, they say, well, we're going to take the best available athlete. We don't know who we're going to draft. That's kind of what this Iran deal is like. This is, as I see it, our best available option. And I've read more, I've heard more, I've seen more interviews. I've even listened to interviews of former senators who are giving their take with no attachments to any of this as to, what are we going to do? And Harry Reid's a pretty thoughtful guy. He consulted with, dozens of people and experts to come to the conclusion that he is going to support the Iranian nuclear deal, and he's encouraging his fellow colleagues in both the Senate and the House to vote no on the rejection resolution, or whatever you want to call it. Jim McDermott joins us, Congressman from Washington. Great friend. Jim, good to have you with us.
It's good to be here, Ed.
Is this our best available option as you see it, or where are we, in your opinion, with this Iranian deal at this checkpoint in this 60-day period?
Well, Ed, I've been reading and watching the whole world, really, not just the American politicians, but the Israeli politicians and the Israeli bureaucrats who've been in their intelligence agencies and nuclear scientists all over the world. Everybody comes up almost totally in support of it because the alternative is so grim, and it is so unlikely that we're going to be able to go back to the table and get something better. I mean, this whole concept that, well, if we just hold out and we go back to the table, we'll get a better deal. There is no evidence whatsoever that that's going to happen. So that's why I think that most people who have done any thinking about this say, let's take this, and they've committed to it, and we'll hold them to it. I mean, It's not that everybody suddenly believes the Iranians, but we have no other choice but to go one way or the other.
Congressman, one of the things that strikes me is that Americans seem to take such an American view of this and not possibly putting themselves in the shoes and the lives of the Iranian people. Their economy has been decimated because of the sanctions. Now that this agreement has taken place, whether they want death to America or not, the bottom line is they want to live better. And when this money comes into them, it's their assets that have been frozen. They're going to have to pay creditors because they've had the government there has had to borrow to keep their function going. And so they've got creditors. They've got a society that is anxious for the basics, water, heat, infrastructure, a better life. And so I think we're missing that as a country, that this is going to benefit the Iranian people, not just give them a path to a bomb 15, 20 years from now. There's a lot of diplomacy that can go under the bridge between now and the next decade. I guess that's how I look at it that way, too. Your thoughts on all of that? What about looking at it from the Iranian perspective? What do they really get out of this?
Well, you're really doing something that's not very often done, Ed, and I'm glad to hear you doing it. That is, if you look at this from their point of view, the politicians, we have seen one guy try to work one of these deals. We rejected. We wouldn't even go to the table with him. And so what happened was we got Ahmadinejad, who was just awful. And so now Rouhani is in there, and he's got a chance, if he can produce something that appeals to the Iranian people, of keeping them on a much more positive track in the world. And my belief is that this is his best chance, and it's our best chance, because if we give him a chance to give his people a better life, you're going to have, in the long run, a situation where they're not interested in throwing bombs around. I think their internal politics often get lost, that he also has to run for election.
Yeah.
And if the Iranian people are not satisfied with him, he's going to be dumped out. Or if he's got to produce for the Ayatollahs, he has to produce.
I don't believe that these people running around saying death to America are the masses of the Iranian people and their Persian culture. I don't believe that. Just like if you were to take a snapshot of America, these people who are pissed off that the Confederate flag is coming down. I mean, I don't think that I think there's some broad brushing going on here. There's going to be radicals there. There's going to be radicals here. But the masses, I believe, want this. And I think the American people are being sold on something that I think there's a fear card here. I think this is the Iraq War all over again as far as a fear card that, if we sign on to this, it's our death warrant. What do you think?
Well, you're absolutely right. We have been subjected in the last 15 years to a constant barrage of people scaring us. There's an old maximum in politics that if you can scare people, you can get them to do anything. And that's really what His Eminence, the leader from the vice presidency, Cheney, was really pushing. He was making it seem like if we didn't do this right now, we were going to be destroyed in the next 15 minutes.
He actually said that if we elect John Kerry, we're going to get hit again. Yep. That's what he said on the trail. I mean, and he also said that you can't change horses in midstream, whatever the hell that means. I mean, they were throwing everything up in 2004 to get reelected. All right, let's go back to our politics. Does Harry Reid supporting the president along with Nancy Pelosi, is this pretty much a done deal for the Democrats? What do you think?
Well, nothing's ever a done deal, Ed, until you vote. But I think that it's as good as it could possibly be. I think the president has put on a full court press, and for the first time in a long time that I can remember, he's had everybody out there working on it, and I believe we're actually in very good shape. I find myself being more optimistic than I've been in a very long time that we're going to be able to hold it. It seems to me from just reading my emails from all my colleagues who are coming out in favor of it, that we have more and more people who are saying, hey, look, let's give the guy a chance and let's give the president his due for what he's done. And I'm optimistic.
Jim McDermott, always great to have you with us. Enjoy your I know you're not vacationing, but your time is off in August, isn't it?
Yep. Well, I just got back from being in Turkey talking to people about what's going on in Iraq and what's going to happen. I really think that we got lots of other problems in the world. That's why we got to get this one put to bed.
Well, what did you hear?
Well, what you hear is that they don't think that the Americans are going to be able to solve it. I was listening to clerics, both Sunni and Shia, saying, you've got to give us a chance to start using our power here, and your bombing from the air is not going to solve it.
Really? So they're basically not – the Turkish people are not in line with what the Obama administration –
these are Iraqis. These are Iraqis.
Okay. These are and you met with them in Turkey.
Yep.
Okay. And they are claiming that our tactics on fighting ISIS right now are not helping.
They don't see it as being helpful.
What's their suggestion, their conclusion? What do they want the United States to do, Congressman?
Well, they really think that we've got to agree to somehow get a government that is acceptable to everyone, and we're not going to get that by continuing to fill the air with bombs. That's the real problem. We're making more soldiers every day as we go over there bombing.
But what do we do about ISIS? I mean, what do we do about this radical jihadist group that is cutting heads off of Christians?
Some of that is we're getting a lot of. They think we're getting more media showing those things than really. They don't think it is so impossible to deal with. They say let us have a chance to work it out with our people, and don't make it worse by continuing to bomb that way. And there's no evidence that we're pushing anybody back. I mean, if you believe the people who are saying that everything is all better because we're bombing every day, you really are believing the propaganda that's coming out of the administration. And I just think we got to be careful of what we do.
Okay. Congressman Jim McDermott, always great to have you with us. I appreciate it. We'll do it again. Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Jim. This is Ed Schultz News and Commentary, brought to you by Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, BioGreen Clean, and the iSave team. You can get this production at WeGotEd.com, RawStory.com, and RingOfFireRadio.com for free. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.